Before we begin today's video, I just figured we'd like to just clear the air a little bit. Yeah, sure, we're doing a let's play of Xenoblade 3 right now, but I feel like we should clear some things up before going on, because we got some comments on the first video, I suppose. Our let's play format is going to be part intuitive, part, tutorial based, and plus it's a JRPG. You're gonna get a lot of text heavy tutorials at the very start. So our style is simply, it wants to be informative and it wants to try and be entertaining at the forefront. But hey, some things may work, some things may not. I know it's not everyone's style, but hey, thanks for joining us on these Xenoblade news videos. If you don't like our let's play, that's fine. It's not for everyone. But hey, on that note, what's up everyone? It's Friday. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 3 has officially released in every part of the world, and people are beginning to see the wild ride that is Xenoblade 3. And for us, we are a few hours in already, and it is fan-freaking-tastic. But anyway, with release date comes a lot of release hype, news, and everything in between. So let's get to the small things first and build our way up. Starting off with Nintendo of Europe. This delightful illustration of Mia was drawn by Xenoblade Chronicles 3 character designer Masasuku Saito to commemorate the game's launch. Good luck to everyone starting out in a new adventure. And again, I like these exclusive artworks for the release window.
Yeah.
You never have to do this, but I love it when artists are just like, here's something extra. Mio just gives off the expression of, I hope you like our game. Trust me, Mio, we do. And plus, we hope you like our Let's Play. Anyway though, let's get to it, because with every game release, we get release trailers. So, let's watch it.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got.
You still have 2 months left.
It's 2 months. Might as well be nothing. Before I know it, it'll be time.
We each have a lifespan of 10 years, and over the course of those 10 years, we fight continually. Things will get tough. You have a whole host of things to go through as you head into the future. Make friends. Keep them close to you, always.
I'll keep going, while my flame still flickers.
We have to fight so we can go on living.
There's one place that might give you a chance. The land pierced by a great sword.
We'll keep on running to that sword. Here goes!
And now the whole world will be your enemy.
You think you have a future? Well, you don't. Chase them to the ends of the world.
You better listen up now, because the face of your real enemy is the final act.
Stop toying with everyone's lives!
Our conviction has never been stronger.
You 6. You're now Ouroboros.
Eliminate Ouroboros at all costs.
And now, we will show no mercy. Mio and my friends, and not just them. Every person I have met has shaped me and changed who I am.
My time left. Wouldn't want to lose track of time and just run out.
I swear, I'll make you pay!
As per usual, the game trailers are going all out. It's got nothing to hide anymore. The trailers have got nothing to conserve, pretty much. So, for me, we ain't gonna go over this because you're probably playing this game right now.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm just gonna say sit back and enjoy the game verbatim. I don't feel like there's any much point in going over the trailer a second time. We saw what we saw. We see what we've seen in the game. So, let's not waste any more time because we all want to get back to Xenoblade 3, shall we?
Yeah.
But hey, we are doing this video simply because we enjoy it. So let's get to the other stuff that's come out for release. And this has been confirmed by multiple sources. Anuna, a choir who has been synonymous with Xenoblade in terms of a few games. Xenosaga, Xenoblade 2, and now it's been official. Very proud to announce that the soundtrack of Xenoblade 3 also features the voice of sisters Aisling and Lauren McGlynn, alongside their other colleague Sarah Dizar. Again to Mitsuda, Plankton Co, and Procyon Studio for this wonderful opportunity. So, these girls are the vocalists, and this is further elaborated on another member of this particular thing here. Proud to announce that Anuna's Sarah Weeder appears on the brand new Xenoblade Chronicles 3 soundtrack released today, and composed by Mitsuda. Sarah's distinctive voice features on 2 songs on this hugely anticipated game from Nintendo. Now, we do not know what songs she has composed for. Have we heard it before? Have we not? We don't know in the pre-release stuff. But it is really nice to see that Anuna have gone from a minor part in Saga to being a more prominent role in 2, and now they get headlining roles in Xenoblade 3. And for me, this is definitely akin to what they did with Sarah, as well as Jen Bird. Taking artists that aren't really well known, but hey, putting them in the limelight. So, all good there, and I cannot wait to hear the entirety of Xenoblade 3 soundtrack, which I'm hoping will get a physical release.
Yeah.
Do not do Xenoblade 3 dirty like you've done Future Connected, because that is a goddamn travesty.
Yeah.
But hey ho, let's get to it. And now let's get to more uplifting and yet at the same time more depressing news for us Western audience members. And it's as follows. Yep, we waited a long time for this. The icon part for Xenoblade 3 will be distributed in the first week from today. Parts such as Noah, Mio, Riku, Ouroboros Noah, and Ouroboros Mio will appear. If you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, please redeem it. Yep, so Xenoblade finally gets the pins for your Nintendo Switch Online accounts. For me, awesome. I've been wanting this to come out. But why does it have to be Nintendo Online exclusives, and why does it have to be Japan exclusives?
Yeah.
It sucks to high heaven. I mean, for God's sake, Pikmin get icons for free. Yet Xenoblade don't. It sucks. And it don't stop there. We get more. Twitch Online subscribers can customize your use icons for Switch and 7. You get more. You get all 6 characters and even chibi forms.
And the queens.
It's like, what the hell, man? Nintendo. And I have checked in Nintendo Online. Yeah, these aren't active yet. You know what else is not active for my Nintendo Online stuff? These things. God. A notebook with the motif of the Diary of Mio, one of the main characters in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, has appeared in the Platinum Point Exchange gift of My Nintendo. Please use it with the sticker of the mini character on the sheet. Dude, I want this!
Yeah.
I want this! It's such a simple design, but it comes with the chibis! It comes with the chibis! Including the chibi Nopon! I can't tell you how much I want to say, I want the chibis! Oh, God, Nintendo, why do this? Online exclusives, especially country exclusives, are not cool.
So they are Japan exclusive? Because I've seen others post them.
I mean, I've checked, like, you guys probably can't see this right now, but I am showing my wife my phone right now, who has the Nintendo Store online thing up right now. And it's not there. Man, I really want this because Xenoblade does not have enough physical merchandise.
Yeah.
And it would be just cool to have it. I mean, for God's sake, they've taunted us with the flutes. Which we cannot get at all. It sucks. But, anyway, and of course, it continues on further. Oh yeah, I also made a handmade doll of Riku and Manana, have a good weapon, and it's cool. I want these.
More to their Nopon plush repertoire.
Uh-huh.
Because they have a Tatsu, they have a Dora, they have a Ricky, and they have a Monopon, and now they've got these 2.
Including with a Riku afro.
That Riku fluff dough.
I know. I'm not jealous, but at the same time, yes, I am jealous. Oh well. But of course, we gotta cap it off with something nice. So, this is a journal by Xenoblade 3 composer Manami Kiyota. And what she goes over in this article is she just pretty much just goes over her excitement for playing the game, her experience with recording with Mitsuda-san, and how they just tried to keep it secret. But let's face it, once the first initial photos came out with Mitsuda having a bunch of sheet music all along his floor, and then once we learned that Ace was working on something, and then Manami Kiyota was working on something, it's like, yeah, it kind of coincides.
And she mentions here that I have a song that comes right there. You'll hear many times in the game, but did you guess which one it is?
I don't know. Mean is Kiyota. She does a lot of songs.
It's the menu theme that I love a lot.
You never know. It could be that. And of course, if you want another piece of the composer news, if we look at Ace's profile right here, you get to see here that they also had a hand in Xenoblade, and that they also did a part in London studio. And for me, I can sympathize with this picture right here, in which you rock so much that your drumstick just peels away. But for me, I love this because, I don't know, just any insight to the recording process, even in simple pictures, I love. And the fact that drumsticks died making Xenoblade soundtracks, like, yes, sacrifice well worth it. Just when you think you're done doing a video, or just when you think you've done the last little bit you need to do, more pop up. Regarding last episode, Mitsuda soon after has clarified on which company he asked in order to do the flute in terms of like the polishing, the lacquer work, and it was simply Mr. Seki on top A B flat polished lacquer work. So he does good stuff. And for me, I kind of wouldn't mind doing this myself.
Yeah.
If it means I get a cool flute out of it. But anyway, thank you Mitsuda for that little bit of clarification. And now, let's get to the main thing whilst we're here. And it is the final chapter in the Ask Developers interview. And this thing has a few little tidbits here and there about the world design, about the size of it, the development of what comes first, story or gameplay, or environmentals, or whatever, and it also gives promise to the future of Xenoblade Chronicles as a whole. So now, let's get to it here. We have a thing for abundance, and this goes to what comes first, gameplay or story, and what normally is the philosophy regarding Monolith Soft, whether it's been the same since the first Xenoblade, and yes, it has been. They start with a story, except now they sort of go hand in hand. Tetsuya comes up with a premise, and then Monolith Soft develops the game and characters around whatever story he wants. So, and for me, this is a very good idea to do, because what if you like design a world first and then all of a sudden you get told, nah, I want this to happen in the story. And therefore they have to change either the flow, the dynamic, or even make new levels. And for me, this kind of makes sense, because as of course, Alice, you edit.
Yeah.
It'll be a pain in the ass if we were to say, hey, let's do this, we do it, and then halfway through the editing process be like, oh no, we should put this in here, in the middle. and thing at the very end. Oh, but you know what? No, let's change things around. It is more cohesive, less stressful, and a more focused narrative. And for me, Monolith Soft has always been like that. Now, we get to what signifies as a JRPG, or how much is too much. And for me, I feel like this particular part of the interview, it kind of addresses the issue that a lot of Western AAA games have, most notably the Ubisoft kind of open world, in which you can say, yes, yeah sure, let's just make it open world and let's just put in a million things and just let the players do whatever. That's not Monolith's style. I mean, yeah sure, as you can see here, they want to put in a lot of combat and a lot of things to do, but is it fun? Is it meaningful? Do you think they want to put more content in? No. But anyway, but I do like how the designer and planner would say, yeah, let's just reduce the volume because of course, you know, you want things to be simple and less arduous on the development staff.
A lot of people that play it might be adults and they've got full-time jobs and things like that.
Oh, they bring that up later on in this interview. They talk about, like, what happens when a person takes an extended break from a game, or what the ideal age they would want someone to play this as.
Well, I haven't had a chance to read this yet, so...
Yes, you're seeing this live, pretty much.
Yeah.
And again, if I could take a pause and we can just discuss things here. In order to create the world Takashi wanted to depict, to make convincing, we had to incorporate a certain amount of content, you know, which could be compelling and allow you to explore the world to a certain extent. And the theme here is there's an active war going on between two sides. Not only does it focus on those two sides, but how would the normals go about doing that? Hum de la hum. But anyway though, this is another thing. Xenoblade Chronicles is the volume of idea content. We sift through the content to figure out what volume is deemed essential for an RPG that we can convey easily to players. Get used to that kind of phrasing. Makes it easier for players because you see that a lot in this interview. And for me, I love it. I love it. But now, I love this. I think Takahashi would like to have countless map and character variations because yes, you definitely would. It kind of makes me think of how many places or ideas have not been done in Takahashi's mind. Now this next paragraph right now, it makes me smile. Because it's the world feels like it, although we couldn't have as much content as those combined, we understand that there's a portion volume of content would be necessary for the series' further iteration. And I think the amount of content exceeds that of the first and second titles. So, how so? How big of it do you think it is? Well, come to think of it, do the math, turns out the walkable area in this game is over 5 times larger than the second game.
So, would you say it'd be like X then?
Yes, because that is the closest comparison in which we can make. 2 and the original were very condensed in terms of, like, maps. Like, they were big, but they were their own condensed segments. This total walking area, and this isn't like segment to segment, it's like how much places or how much space you can explore in the entire game.
It is kind of a tangent. I kind of wish they'd referenced X in that paragraph.
Oh, you want an X reference, do you?
Yeah, it's like they pretend X doesn't exist, I feel.
Well, look forward to the next piece here. We mentioned maps and character behaviors create such a large area with a landscape, natural models, cumulative range of expertise in map creation, in which they have, but they also acknowledge their kind of philosophy with Xenoblade in terms of graphical fidelity. There are many colonies that were explored quests. If you put too much effort into adding a lot of detailed variations such as wall patterns, I think we would not have been able to provide as much gameplay as we did. Which is my argument to say graphics are not the be-all end-all in a video game. If you spend so much time on a wall texture, you know, then you're missing out on adding more stuff in.
And I saw an argument, it's like, with regards to like graphics nowadays, it's kind of edging to the point where it's becoming uncannily realistic.
And I can agree, but in JRPGs, I'd like to think they have a advantage of which it's so out of the norm. You cannot possibly mistake this for a real life simulator unless you go to that intentional route. In which case, why would you? Again, no, they're nice views, and it's so awesome.
And this isn't the first time they mention it, but I really like when they bring up the term Xenobladeness.
Because it needs that Xenoblade feels. Like, it has that Xenobladeness. And here we go. Stretches out into this and feels like it's also part of the Xenobladeness. Speaking of the environment, the title has a guide function that points out to the next destination. But could you give us the background on why this was implemented in this third game? This paragraph, I think you are going to get a kick out of because it's something that you had an issue with a couple of videos back, as well as, well, it's got a little something for you in here. The main reason for easy understanding, especially in the second title, rather than simply exploring flat terrain, there were differences in elevations. There were times which was very difficult for players to get to find the target location.
Yes.
Absolutely. So again, this is something that I love of acknowledging. Like, yeah, our design ideas in 2 were not the best. People got frustrated. They found difficult. Then guess what? We learned!
Cliffs and Martha looking at you.
Yeah, indeed. It was so good. Trial and error is necessary to some extent, but getting too lost is inevitably leads to frustration. For me, the biggest issue was more arcade in finding the factory and finding your way around.
Yeah.
For me, this shows, yeah, we kind of want to adjust that. But however, it's not just this option. And I say option for a reason. We had a similar system called the follow ball in Xenoblade Chronicles X, but some players said it was still difficult to understand, and they even have a clip of it showing here. Because what this clip doesn't actually show, at least not to its entirety, is that A, the follow ball is quicker than you, so just going on that, you can easily lose track of the follow ball, and it also isn't constant, because I think it fades away after a time.
Yeah.
So, again, if you lose track of it, you're kind of SOL here.
And it sometimes goes through walls.
Indeed, making it like, huh? I was personally concerned that the guide series would make players only follow the guide and that would miss out on some interesting gameplay discovered when making detours. Now, unfortunately, to that point, there are going to be some players who do that. There are going to be some players who naturally, as gamers, like, I don't want to do the side quests, I just want to see story to story points and then just go on my way. Which is fair enough. Anyone can play RPGs however they want. For us, though, we are going to be playing Xenoblade 3 in full. See everything, do everything we can.
100%.
Yes. For good or the bad.
Yeah.
But we will still love it. And, you know, we'll see all of the detours. Did you deem it necessary to implement guide system from Nintendo's perspective? Members of Nintendo also said the same concerns, so they heard it from the fans as well as official sources from Nintendo. And you know what? They listened.
For once, they stuck to their Twitter bio.
We hear the players. And of course, if you're even more lost, it has a beacon of shining light given to your destination, so it should be there too. The conversely, pointing out indexes, it all seems like it make it easier to see where the detours are, besides making it easier to come back to the main route if you make a side trip.
Yeah, for me, in my opinion, this feels a little hand-holdy, but I know a lot of new players will really be thankful of this.
And it's in the next sentence. Navigation can be turned on and off at any time, so if you just want to explore without the guiding lights in your way, you can actually turn it off and you can just explore. Which again, if it's an option, why not put it in the game? You are guaranteed that someone, at least one person, is going to use it. And if you're able to make that one person's experience a little bit better, then why not? Why not? And now we get to hear about the heroes and what their role is and how you find them. And of course, again, we have been over this numerous times, still blurred of image, you bastards. But anyway, it all says here, heroes strong, renowned figures in this world and a reliable ally for Noah and his friends. You can find them from previous titles. No, sorry, wrong words.
You started to get my hopes up there.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I do not know I said that. Anyway, by playing the main scenario, you encounter a third of the heroes. The rest are optional encounters. And for me, similar to how Xenoblade 2 went with its blade quests. Sometimes you picked up Wolfric, sometimes you picked up a rock, sometimes you picked up a Geon, other times you can just hope and cross your fingers that a Cosmos will just fall into your lap. But it just won't. It just won't. And again, visuals and other aspects about that. And what do you think the Detour's most exciting aspect of the title? Both the main story and detours are highly recommended, of course. Because what producer would say, oh yeah, sure, this game, oh no mate, it's crap. Don't look forward to anything, it's abysmal. And this is another thing for early players, and this is a thing which we have not seen before. One of the reasons why I love it. If you feel like, well, I'm stuck. How does this class work? How does this art work? How does this effect work? Not only do you have visual tutorials, it also gives you a full-on tutorial.
Yeah.
So no longer text-based.
It's like how Astral Chain did it.
Yeah, pretty much.
With the training room.
But you can access it at any time should you feel confused. And this is early on in the game, so you can do whatever the hell you want.
I really like this.
Yeah, so, for example, if you want to be like, okay, I'm going to start Xenoblade 3, and you can immediately want to learn everything you want to. Like, I want to learn how to break days. I want to know how to do everything. You can do it right here in this room at the very start.
Wow, I'm really impressed by this.
Yeah, they made this whole training room beating up a bunnet just so players can just have a good time. For me, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's helping the players who don't know what they're doing.
Xenoblade 2 desperately needed that.
Yes, it did, as well as other things, but hey ho. We have put our efforts into developing a system that will help first-time players avoid getting lost. And for me, it's awesome. Those features sound like players who won't have to give up if they forget what to do when they come back to a game after taking a long break. So, you can have...
I got something for you. Thanks.
So many things. So there you have it. So yeah, these tutorials will come up in gameplay naturally as the game progresses, but also you can definitely just point at any time. So awesome. And this is a funny point which I feel like is a nice little bit to go into. For what I've heard, it's clear that, well, newcomers can enjoy as if it's their first Xenoblade game, even though it's the third one in the series. What are the highlights of this game and recommendations you have for players? This is simply the tutorials, 7 characters, as even if you mess things up, the other 6 characters will fight hard for you, hopefully indicating the AI is a little bit better.
There's also an auto battle function.
Yes, I was getting to this. All the battle functions available during most battles in which current selected characters automatically attack during battle, so please utilize it whenever you're finding a battle tough. So, aka, having a hard time, want to skip the fight entirely and just let the AI do its work? That is there for you. Now for me, I'm kind of in two minds about this because I feel like a player should overcome a challenge by themselves by learning from their mistakes and analysing things as they go. Because that's what a game is meant to be. It's meant to be a challenge and you feel good when overcoming it. However, I do know that this is still a JRPG and people want to see the story.
Yeah.
So, it just all depends in what camp you are mainly in. For me...
Or speedrunners.
I mean, yeah, my god, that might actually change, like what speedrunners you want to see. Like, is it an auto battle category or not? That's actually a good idea. This could change speedrunning. Story so far made the first, second, third title, but I feel like this is the story where we could best achieve what Takashi-san wanted us to do, so hopefully you'll try it. I especially want people around the same age as the main characters to play it, and creating the Ouroboros battle system was particularly challenging. Want to have another hand in making it easier for players, but not trying to babysit them? Well, again, this goes in here. Takusan was enabled to players to switch back and forth between Ouroboros and regular forms anytime, but we need to remember that Ouroboros are mighty beings, so if I wanted to restrict players, they can't form Ouroboros at the beginning of a battle and want them to use it at the end to finish the battle. AKA, Ouroboros is not a get out card, it's got to be earned.
And also the bit about people around the same age as the main characters to play, I guess that means we have to leave because we're not the same age.
Okay, look, we're slightly over, okay? We're slightly over. I've been gaming for 30 years, damn it! I'm old, if you couldn't tell. Oh well. But, and again, no, Xenoblade Chronicles makes me the perfect mix of a excited child and a crotchety old man. That's the way I feel like I can react to a Xenoblade game. I can be analytical, but I can also be, oh, I want to see this. But either way. Now, this is a good part about Xenoblade in its current state and where the series' future lays. Talk about this entirely in terms of it being a combination or closure or summary, but it's been approximately 15 years since we began development on the series.
Wow.
15 years of Xenoblade! God damn, that makes me feel old. This game spans everything we have done so far and it's filled with answers to all our questions. Now, all of their questions, what about ours? At the same time, we have taken a variety of new challenges in this work, and I believe that we were able to implicit share a glimpse of what Monolith Soft wants to achieve in the future. I imagine what Monolith's future games will look like while playing this title would be another way to enjoy. So again, this might be the foundation of what Monolith Soft's game's going to be like in the future. For me, if they want to be this inclusive and this take every lesson they've learned into whatever they want to do next, dude, I am all about that. Third time in the series, you can of course enjoy it on its own. Something tells me that's not entirely true.
If 2 is anything to go by.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with this point from Takahashi. I feel like you need to have some context on the first two games.
I mean, at the same time though, 3 might just have Easter eggs. We don't know. We haven't played it yet.
It has people that might be Melioneer. Yeah. Something tells me their hits are going to hit harder if you have context on those types of things.
Yeah.
But anyway, though, let's get to the expansion pass, or what that's going to entail. We'll be adding new story content in the end of the expansion pass, and we're thinking of making it the volume content as large as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torn of the Golden Country. So this won't be like a few extra fights and maybe the Nopon art sage at a push. No, we are getting a full new narrative expansion. For me, I cannot wait, because Torna, yes, I'll give it side bits a little bit of flack, but its story, yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And of course, you mentioned this is the title of culmination of the series, but am I right to assume that the Xenoblade Chronicles will go on? Yes, it will still go on. I want to keep it going as long as possible. And that is the end of not only this particular interview, but the entire thing itself. So, we know what the intentions were regarding its narrative, how it wants to treat players new and old, and where the series is going to go in the future. And for me, I cannot wait to see what Monolith Soft do next, and where Xenoblade goes next.
Yes, I'm assuming that Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 are all just wrapping around the same narrative, and then if the Xenoblade 4 comes out, it's going to be something entirely different.
Which, you know, is fair enough. You don't want to milk a franchise or a narrative or a theme too much in which it loses its impact, but for me, Monolith Soft has been able to hold 3 or 4 games together and make them as epic as the last.
Just don't ignore X, please.
You never know. Maybe X is its own trilogy.
Maybe.
It could be. X2, X3. You never know. But guys, what do you think of this particular interview, and where do you think Xenoblade Chronicles is going to go next in the future? And you know what? seeing how it's release date, how are you guys enjoying Xenoblade 3? I would love to hear your thoughts on your experiences. Are you having fun? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you want to see more of this, whether it's more Xenoblade news that comes out afterwards, whether it's DLC announcements or whatever else, then please do subscribe to see more. And if you care to watch just like a couple of idiots just let's playing Xenoblade 3, then please be sure to follow that series as well. But until then, Babylon Lightning.
I'm Alice.
And this has been Xenoblade 3 News Drops. We honestly don't know how much left we have to do of this. So, but for a while, this could be one of the last videos we do as far as like news for Xenoblade 3. At least for a while. Who knows? Might be something that comes out on Monday. We will have to see. But guys, I guess seeing how this might be a hiatus on what might happen regarding the news, I just want to say for everyone who's watched this series from like the first video we ever put out of this, thank you so much. The love that you have given this channel has been immense. And again, if you're gonna pop off because you don't want to watch our Let's Play, that's cool, that's fine. We appreciate the love all the same. But until then, we'll see you next time for whatever else we have in store. Who am I kidding? It's more Xenoblade content. Let's play, damn it. Let's do it. Oh yeah, gotta end the video before we record more Xenoblade. Would help.